I went from a rank of 48,000 to 2556 without studying all 19 subjects. If you think solving every single question bank module is the secret to a top rank, then you are wrong. See, let's be very brutally honest, okay? Most of you guys are wasting your time solving question banks. But don't click away from this video. Question banks are not useless. They are just used less. Today, I will break down exactly how you can use the power of question banks, previous year questions, and the 6 secret MCQ solving strategies that will boost your score and not keep your GT scores stagnant and you regretting your entire NEET PG preparation. Bro, see, we've all been there, okay? We read the notes multiple times, you go to answer a GT and bam, you're stuck at a score of 120 or 130. Sounds very familiar? So the cure to this is intelligent, smart studying. Myth number 1 in everyone's brain is that you should finish all the marrow modules. This is totally false. Even the toppers don't finish all the marrow modules. I mean, look at their explanations. Reading the explanations and solving the question bank of marrow itself is a big task. See, it's very good to solve the marrow QBank, okay? Your knowledge will increase, but this will only happen when you have a lot of time. Let's say you bought marrow when you were in your second year or third year. You finish a topic and you go and start reading the marrow MCQs, correct? So in that case, when you read the explanations, when you go through the entire QBank module, you're getting knowledge, which is obviously really good. Because myth number 2 is that the question banks are for knowledge. This is totally false. See, your MBBS knowledge plus your rapid revision notes, those are for knowledge. QBanks are mainly for your own practice, to test yourself, and should not be taken that seriously, and getting an MCQ wrong in the QBank should never be a hit onto your personal ego. Myth number 3 is that the toughest questions get you the desired rank. This is totally false, because every single topper recognizes that there are easy questions, moderate questions, and hard questions. 80% of your exam is going to be of the easy and the moderate questions. You have to get a 90% strike rate in those select questions. See, in my entire preparation, I understood from like second or third month onwards that this QBanks to meri bas ki baat nahi hai. You know, they are so tough, and the explanations, you don't know what is to be ignored and what is to be incorporated into your notes. It's a huge confusion, and every single coaching platform has their own question bank module. Like if you see Marrow, it is filled with a lot of knowledge from different textbooks from different references. See, a rule of thumb is that if there's a question in the question bank and more than 60% of the people are getting the answer wrong, that means that that's a useless question. See, a question should be in a question bank module if most people can get it correct, if it is common knowledge. If it falls in the bracket of the easy and moderate questions, then it deserves to be in the question bank module. See, if it is there in the question bank module, that means every coaching is trying to give an edge. They're saying that, you know, my question bank, you know, has so many questions. It has 20,000 questions. And from last year's NEET PG exam, our question bank had an 80% strike rate, 90% strike rate. See, if you include all the knowledge from all the books, from all the research articles, obviously you're going to develop a question bank module which is going to cover the entirety of NEET PG syllabus. Okay, I mean, you just require someone to set questions from the knowledge in Nelson's and Harrison's and make a question module. Okay, so this is what the coaching people do, and it is not wrong on their part, because they want to train you to get everyone to get all in the rank 1, but we all know that's not physically possible, correct? So normal people like mid rankers who want to get into the top 5,000 rank, they fall prey to this exact strategy by coaching apps, and this is what you should do to counter it. See, in your first read and your second read, I highly recommend that you stick only to previous year questions. See, I realized this strategy late in the preparation phase, like 2 or 3 months into the preparation phase, that I need to solve previous year questions. Keep that as my base, and if I get time, I should solve the question bank modules. So I went to this app called Reflex. It was promised to be a previous year question only app, exactly what I needed. and because I was going through a job and I was going through different financial constraints, like I wanted to earn money for myself, I had to compromise somewhere, right? I could not go through the entire marrow question bank module because I had so less time. So I had to go through a previous year question source like Reflex, okay? And at that time I was following Dr. Aditya Gupta. So it became very a natural friend to me that during my busy OPDs when I used to go to my job, I used to solve these questions from the Reflex app. And the beauty of it was that there should be very small and crisp explanations. Like you solve a question, you get right or wrong, it doesn't matter, because I told you question banks are not for knowledge, it's for your own practice. You get a question right or wrong, okay? Then there's a very crisp explanation. Within 1 minute, you'll come to know the gist of the entire topic. And in NEET PG, you need not know the details of the entire topic. The details of entire topic are to be told in INICT, not NEET PG. So this is why I love this app, because you have a fixed amount of questions. Let's say from endocrinology in medicine, okay? You have a fixed question of 180 questions. You do those questions, I think 90% of endocrine from medicine is covered. And I think recently they had like a UI upgrade. It is free of glitches and free of errors. I think if you're someone who is looking very confused of whether the QBanks are not making any sense, I think you guys should directly go and join the Reflex app. I've been using it for my entirety of my preparation. I've been recommending this to my own personal people who I mentor personally on my Telegram groups. So I think you should go and just buy Reflex for now and then combine it with your reading notes. Now we're coming to the 6 different MCQ types, and this is the game changer I want to talk about. See, the first type of MCQ is the straight recall MCQ. These are basic one-liners, like vitamin deficiency causing night blindness. We all know it is vitamin A. Blur. The mistake we do over here is overthinking. And that is exactly what the examiner wants you to test. They want to know if you know your basics. Don't overcomplicate these MCQs. Stick to your answer, don't change it. The next type of MCQ is the conceptual or applied MCQ. Here the examiner wants you to think in a logical sequential manner. For example, it'll give you a clinical vignette. Like for example, tumor staging, that so and so part of the organ is involved, these lymph nodes are involved, here there is no metastasis. Or you need to think, okay, so and so, this is the staging, okay, I have reached to the staging of T2, N1, N0, and so, this is the treatment. For example, he wants you to apply a logic, stage the disease and come to the required treatment. So this requires some amount of time, okay? And that's why you need to practice these types of conceptual questions, because they're not going to ask you what is the most common tumor of bladder cancer. No, it's going to ask you the staging of bladder cancer. So you need to practice this kind of questions also. The third type of MCQs are the rank deciders, the elimination based MCQs. For example, nephrotic versus nephritic syndrome, correct? There are a few differentiating points and they will give you 4 options. You'll have to eliminate 2 options. And these 2 options will be very obvious to eliminate. And in the exam, you'll be stuck between 2 options. This is where your practice of MCQs at home comes into play. How you eliminate the remaining 2 options, may say how you select one of the options, because they'll be very confusing, okay? Hypertension is present where? Nephrotic or nephritic, but there is also nephritic onset nephrotic syndrome. There is nephrotic onset nephritic syndrome. Oh my god, I'm so confused. This is when your GTs come into play. If you have practiced enough GTs, if you're in the time pressure constantly to select between 2 topics, you will sail through this MCQ type. And these type of MCQs, right, are at least 40 to 50% of the paper is going to be these elimination based questions. So how to solve these questions? Reread your notes on those topics where there are comparisons, like nephrotic versus nephritic, like the various glycogen storage disorders. You are very easy to get confused. Read them again and again. Answer more GTs and you will get the confidence to select the correct answer. The next type of questions are the long clinical vignettes, where you have to read the last line and answer. There'll be a big case, okay, patient came with abdominal pain, fever, vomiting, chills, and finally they'll give you a CT-KOB and then there'll be a fat standing. So you diagnose pyelonephritis and he'll ask you the antibiotic of choice. Okay, now if you just read the last line and if you just know that antibiotic of choice in pyelonephritis, okay, so if you see a very big paragraph, go to the last line, see what it wants, then quickly read the paragraph just so that you don't miss a particular point. then you can easily choose your answer. That's how you handle these clinical vignettes. Read the last line, see the options, go ahead and mark what you feel is the best. The sixth type of MCQ is the image-based MCQ. Now see, you have an image in front of you. That image will help you get the last clue that you need to answer that particular question. And see, all the 6 types of MCQs, right? They could be combined. For example, it may be a conceptual clinical question where you'll be given an image, and ultimately out of the 4 options you eliminate 2 options and you'll be left down with 2 options. So, and these are the tough questions. These are the rank deciding questions where you're given a mix of entire the 6 types of MCQs. Then there may be a fact in the question which you have to remember. If you remember the fact, it will tell you about the concept. That concept will link to the image, eliminate options and select between the 2 options. So there are so many different ways that they can mess around with you. But if you go through these different MCQ types, right, which are available, which if you do a previous year question app, you'll be exposed to all different kinds of types of MCQs. Once you master it, then you can actually answer any question by using all of these methods. Now Anirudh, I have done with my notes, I have done with my previous year questions using whatever app that you use. Now what do? Now you can actually start going to your question banks. But don't do the entire question bank, yeah. You have to do selectively. For example, you know trauma in surgery is a very important subtopic, right? Do the question bank of marrow of trauma. It's okay. Because you know that this is a high yield topic. Glycogen storage disorders. Do the biochem module in marrow about the glycogen storage disorders. Move beyond the previous year questions for the most obvious common topics. Esophagus in surgery. Do the question bank module. In psychiatry, you get mood disorders. Do the question bank from them. So selectively, based on your reading and your knowledge of previous year questions, you can selectively start doing the question bank. This is the simple formula for NEET PG. See, out of 200 questions, 120 are going to be easy questions. That if you have a medium preparation, you are going to get this correct, right? Then there are going to be 50 moderate questions, okay? Out of this, you have to get a 80 to 85% to even 90% strike rate. So 120 correct plus 40, 160 should be a base, okay? A 160 correct is going to get you above 3000 rank. Then it depends upon the number of wrongs that you have answered. Then the remaining 30 tough questions, correct? You have to apply your weird logic. You have to apply your brain really hard. And even if you get 10 tough questions correct, that will boost your score to 170 correct. Now that puts you at a competitive edge of a top 1000 rank. This is how you go about dissecting your GTs. See, MCQ is like that friend who tells you where exactly you need to move the compass in your preparation. Use it wisely and it will guide you in the proper direction, just like a good friend. And if you like the good friend on your screen over here, please subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, I have a lot more videos coming up for you about NEET PG preparation, about NEET PG counseling, how you can decide your own branch. And I want you guys to decide your own branch that you want during a NEET PG preparation, because if you have a dream branch, then you will work towards getting a seat in the desired college that you want in your dream branch. So comment down in the comment section below what is your dream branch and what more practical advices that you want from me in the comment section below. I will respond to every single comment over there, and if there's enough 100 likes on this video, I will come up with a detailed strategy for NEET PG 2026. So do hit the like button, do hit the subscribe button. Follow me on my Instagram where I share daily tips on how you can improve your health, fitness, well-being as well as NEET PG preparation. I will see you in my DMs. I'll see you in the comments. Bye-bye.